Hey folks, it's Ardwulf. Welcome. We're going to do an unboxing today of yet another Russian Civil War game. This is Red Russia, a game by William Sarajevo and published by Avalanche Press. Avalanche Press is a company that I don't own very many games for, and in fact, I like even fewer games from. But this was pretty inexpensive, bought off of eBay, and therefore I bought it. So we'll see what it looks like. It's in a 1-inch box. Let's open her up and see what we get. Perfectly good box. It looks like the cover here is based on an actual propaganda poster, which is good. Ooh, okay, cards. I've never seen a Avalanche Press game with cards before. All right, so we have a deck of cards, which I'm not going to go through right now. We have a rule book, which is a 24-page rule book. 22-page rule book, actually. Black and white, reasonable paper quality. When is this game from? This is from 2007. Covers, the early occupation by parts of Russia by the Central Powers. The Imperial Gold. Nowadays, I think this would be considered a fairly pedestrian rulebook, but, it's 13 years old, so I'm going to cut them some slack on that. Ooh, there's some brightly colored stuff in this box. Okay, so not the map, though. The map is very, very stark. Which is actually, I think, a pretty good design choice for this topic. Okay, so it's on a very glossy stock. It is a point-to-point map, as you can see, and man, there's a lot of points. It runs all the way from Poland to Vladivostok. I mean, Russia is big, right? And the scope of the Russian Civil War did cover all of it. So, or more or less all of it. We even have Finland up here. So, here's the Transcaucasus and Central Asia, and the Baltic states, and Poland, and Great Russia, and Siberia back here. So this is interesting. You see that some spaces are separated by dashed lines, and some spaces are separated by solid lines. One presume that means something. I don't know what it means at this time. And there is a legend down here, which I'm not sure you can see in frame, that tells you what is up with the individual spaces, where you have fortification level and looks like an income level. Some of them are German occupied, presumably at the beginning, and there's a manpower rating. Okay, and some of them are marked for food too. Okay, so that's interesting. You will have noted a sharp increase in the number of games on the channel dealing with this topic. And in part, that's because it's an interesting topic, but in part it's also because it's a topic that's seldom enough gamed that I was able to basically pick up all the games on the subject, with a couple exceptions. All right, so we got a couple of player aids, which are not duplicates. They're two individual player aids. I take this to be a two-player game. 2 to 4 players, actually. Okay. Now our pieces are quite interesting. These are what appear to be 1-inch counters. They are on a pretty thin white core stock. But given the presumed scale of this thing, this might make perfect sense. They're pretty much about the same size as the spaces on the map. And you see we got our reds here, and then various factions of whites, and then the Poles, and then the Allied Expeditionary or Intervention Force, some Siberians. We got some air and some tanks. So that's actually quite interesting. And it looks like there's a reduced value side on the reverse side too. So that's intriguing. All right. So I don't know a lot about this game. Let's actually open the card deck up and take a look at that. But it was relatively inexpensive, so I figured I would check it out. If you would specifically like to see some more content on the game, let me know. Otherwise, it's going to get mentioned if it hasn't been already, in the video that I'm planning to survey the entire field of games on this subject. So we have a deck of what feels like approximately 50 cards on a standard playing card, textureless playing card type stock. There's no art on the cards. There's no flavor text on the cards. So it's they're a little dull. They actually look like the old generic packaging where you buy toilet paper and it would be a white package with black letters on it that said toilet paper. That's kind of what these cards look like. I want to cut Avalanche Press some slack for publishing this in 2007, however. So I shouldn't be too hard on them for, maybe not the world's finest graphics by modern standards. Actually, it looks kind of interesting. Looks not terribly complicated, but there's nothing wrong with that necessarily. One does not necessarily need massively complicated games on every subject. Red Russia, the Russian Civil War, 1918 to 1921, from Avalanche Press, 2007. If you've enjoyed the unboxing, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel and click the little bell icon to get notified when new content comes out. If you're of a mind to support Ardwulf's Lair, please consider sharing the content around on social media or check out the Patreon link in the video description. Until next time, thanks again for watching and happy wargaming.